Olli Maatta hitting to the boards by Niederreiter. What do you think? Suspension time?
Oh, yeah.
Or was it just an accident? All day in the crease. Tommy. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to In the Crease with Tommy C, brought to you by the Real Talk Advocare Messiah. New album, December 17th, 2015. He'll be doing a record release party with Dead on Dave. Check out the Metaphor Messiah Real Talk on Bandcamp. More information coming up about that album pretty soon. But a big thank you to the real himself, Real Talk Metaphor Messiah. Dead on Dave. There is a lot of stuff going out there. Let me read this to you. Mike Russo of the Star Tribune believes no discipline is coming for Niederreiter because it wasn't an overly aggressive push. I disagree with. And because he didn't push him directly in the boards. All right, that's a little more argument. That depends on how the rule is stated.
Neither of those things are true.
I don't think neither of those things are true. Well, it was at an angle. But, I mean, unless there's a rule, an NHL rule that I don't know about, so you have to be pushed in straight into a boards and a vulnerable if you're, like, perpendicular to the boards?
This isn't like friggin' early Atari days where you have to hit the friggin' board before you can move another way. I mean, no, come on, this is retarded. This makes no sense because he was dislodged from the puck. This was deliberate, and it was directly. He opened a door.
Yeah.
He used him as a door opener.
I think I did look at this. It does look like the goalie or the backup goalie actually might be lifting the door for the line change. And it just looked really cold the way Niederreiter skated away.
Yeah.
I don't really think the door is relevant in this whole conversation, whether the goalie lifted or whether it was hit. What's relevant is the point of contact. It looked like it was two players playing hard for the puck. Looks like Niederreiter lost the puck, got frustrated, and delivered a hit in a very vulnerable position. No, he wasn't straight on bent over to the boards, but he was pushed to the direction of the boards. I totally disagree with this Russo character. I happen to disagree.
I tend to disagree with all Russos.
Yeah, me too. I have a real problem. I
have a problem with that.
There was a whole family of lowlifes where I grew up named Russo.
Bunch of Russos. I've never agreed with one. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, it was this Vince Russo.
Yeah.
There's a lot of famous Russo. There's
Rene Russo. Rene Russo, I would have copious amounts of sex with her.
Oh, Rene
even
Russo?
At this age.
Who's Rene Russo? She was
Rene Russo, really?
She was the poker player, right?
No.
She's a poker player, right?
No, she's an actress.
No, it's not Rene Russo. There was somebody else. The poker player is somebody else, and she's smoking hot.
Yeah, the actress is Rene Russo. Tin Cup, Lethal Weapon 3.
Oh, okay, that's
Russo,
the one.
Man.
That's the one from Lethal Cup Weapon 3. But there's another Russo, a poker player Russo.
Yeah, it's spelled completely differently.
All right, that's Vanessa Russo.
That's Rousseau.
That's Vanessa Russo. All right, well, yeah, actually, she has come to think of it. That's the poker star page. That's a challenge for the upcoming changing slightly altered format of Shot from the Point Live. We're going to argue about Russos all day. But go ahead.
For this hit, this was a cross check in the back of a defenseless player. Plain and simple. If this doesn't get a suspension, they have to change the rules because this checks the block.
Yeah. I'm not going to air this, but I think I want to take one more look at it. We've made mistakes before.
Sure.
Now looking closely at things. I don't know, but I don't, and I'm actually really interested in your calls on this 718-395-7660. Please, more than welcome to give your opinion on how you view this hit. And I'm not one of these guys that rush to judgment, and I mean, I do. It doesn't. It was like
in fact,
you said,
you give the benefit of the doubt on hits.
Yeah, I do. I'm I'm one of these guys that's bang bang. I think a lot of this stuff is, judged by people who never skated at all, much less skated. I never skated at this speed. No, man. Fuck no.
This didn't feel like bang bang. It didn't look like bang bang. It looked like he had time to disengage from the player. He chose not to.
Fuck
and
no.
let's speak a second for Maatta, shall we? This kid has been through so much in his young career, and this is just another setback. And he looked absolutely wrecked. I mean, hockey players are tough, and he's a tough kid, probably tougher than most, but he did not look good.
Overnight stay in the hospital as this kid just got over thyroid cancer. From what I'm saying, it wasn't overly aggressive. Who is this Mike Rusto, the Star Tribune? Is that from Minnesota? Let's find that out.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Minnesota. Something tells me I wouldn't do well in Minnesota.
You would not play well in Minnesota. I don't
Minneapolis.
See it.
No, I
yeah.
know. Well,
they would throw you in one of their 10,000 lakes.
Lud said they seem a little bit fucking liberal. Liberals.
They're very weird because
aggressive for me.
They're not quite Canadian enough. Like they're right there on the cusp of being Canadian, so they'd be acceptable.
It might be another area that I just like Buffalo that just needs to be, annexed. I don't know.
Take it.
Annexed.
Take it, Canada.
Yeah. How many other people can I piss off? Let's go to the chat. Dead on Dave. Habs Canada. I like to masturbate a lot.
Yeah. Hey, well, who
good.
doesn't?
Karin Johnson.
I've rubbed one out twice since we've been on the air. So.
Yeah. Venom X, or otherwise known as Trix Cobra. I'm actually here on time. Bray Bobs, what's happening? Jason Johnson, haven't seen you in chat in for a while. Grand Slam 87, other words known as the Made Man. Jeff. Saran, Russian from DC. He says he's popping in. He's saying hello. Yeah, that's about it. Maatta gets back. Just as Maatta gets back, this Swiss fuck comes and puts him back in the hospital. Pierre Pustine. I don't think there's anything else. So you guys got anything to say? You know the number 718-395-7660. Or you're more than welcome to add me to context and whatever. I don't know.
I wish I could just dismiss it as a tough hockey play, but it wasn't. It felt dirty. It looked dirty. It looked like there was intent. It looked like there was malice. I don't know what else to say on it. It's just how it looked like to me. It does not pass the smell test. I can tell you that.
It doesn't. It looks like he got frustrated because these guys are competitive. Yes. They want to win every battle. He lost the battle and he did something insane. And you can push a player in hockey if they have possession of the puck. The possession of the puck was gone. I mean, this feels. I'd be shocked, but you know what? The NHL has been getting this right lately, Dead on Dave.
They have.
And we've always been panicked because we're used to this. We have this sort of ghost of Shanahan over us who just got it wrong or just made strange situations. We always kind of put out there that possibly he was a bit of a puppet, and the NHL was making their decisions based on sort of media pressure one way or another. Maybe he will be suspended. I'm actually not hearing that there's any kind of meeting or anything.
I haven't even heard the disciplinary meeting being set yet, which that's odd to me. But you know what? Sometimes it takes a day. Look, I'm not one of these people who thinks that just because a guy gets injured that a hit should automatically result in suspension. I think that's insane. It sets a really dangerous precedent. However, this is one of the if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck and walks like a duck, well, God damn it, it's a duck. And this is a duck. It's a brutal hit, and it looks like it's absolutely done with intent. And the NHL has been getting it right, so I'm expecting them to do the right thing once again.
Yes, so we'll just leave it at that. I want to thank Trix Cobra, Venom X. He made me a picture of the king.
Me?
No, Henrik Lundqvist.
Oh. My bad.
So definitely, I love when people send me hockey stuff, especially personal stuff. When you're actually at the rink yourself or at the hockey game, I like stuff like that. And definitely funny stuff if you see it out there. I'm looking at my donations ticker, and it's like slightly off, and it's making me insane looking at it. I don't have OCD.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm fucking total.
You might want to go talk to somebody.
I'm a total slob. I'm a slob. I can't do anything organized, but when it comes to this shit, it makes me bate.
It's pretty bad.
Also, I want to big shout out, which I forgot to do because I'm horrible with plugging people. That's one of the reasons that I'm doing Real Talk at the top. I really want to push his record because Black Mozart, new record.
Somebody did a really good promo for that too. I forgot who it was though, but he's a talented guy. I forget. Oh yeah, I did it.
You did it. And you got the record release party, and we're probably gonna have a party on this channel as well, where I get to play DJ. And I really want you to pick up Real Talk's record because he's the best. Also, like to thank Ken Morrison, who did the voice of Jaromir Jagr yesterday.
That's great.
As some of you know, you can leave your messages on the phone number or phone line, either through Skype or online. And just don't get pissy if I don't use it. I don't use everything Ken sends me, but he was the voice of Jaromir Jagr, and I forgot to plug him. And I felt lousy about it. So I'll
want to bribe me? Go ahead.
I scorn your ranges. I like when he says, because it says, you make funnies of me.
I scorn your ranges.
You make funnies.
I
scorn your ranges. I didn't know he beat Adam Graves' record. I forgot about that. I didn't know he beat Adam Graves' records in single season goals, so he must have like 50, 52, 53 one year. Remember
Jagr's a bad man. Plain and simple. In every aspect of the word. That's a bad man. 47,000 years old having sex with 18-year-old models.
You can make an argument he was the greatest Ranger ever, at least to pass through the system. Now he's not going. They're not going to raise his jersey to the bed. But as far as like statistics go, he's really. It's only between him and Mark Messier. Nobody comes close. But I don't think most Ranger fans consider him a Ranger. That's the thing. That was the beginning of. Had he stayed with the team, I think that would have been a serious possibility whether he got his banner race. But he decided to go to KHL, and then he decided to drag it out. Speaking of, old Jaromir's on a bit of a slump. Some media reports out there saying that this is the end. I think that's early.
He started off as a house of fire.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
So he's got a downtime. We also saw him going to his slump when he was with the Boston Bruins during the Stanley Cup final. So
it's not going to be a problem. He's going to pop
a
couple Viagra. He's going to go find some hot models, and it'll be just fine. Take 2 of these. I'm making boob gestures, and call me in the morning. He'll be fine.
Don't make funnies of me.
Don't make funnies.
Don't make funnies of me.
Jaromir
Jagr. He sounds so weird.
It's great though.
His voice sounds like his name. Like I think of Jaromir Jagr.
Yes.
It's like it's like dude, he's the Czechiest Czech I've ever.
He's pretty Czechy.
Very Czechy.
Very Czechy. There's 2 names in sports that I love saying, and I've always loved saying. Jaromir Jagr is one of them, and the other one is Vladi Divac.
What does he sound like?
Vladi Divac.
You sound like
Vladi Divac from the Lakers.
Vladi Divac. He was very Czechy, wasn't he?
Vladi Divac.
They
always said it with the big C at the end when they Vladi Divac. Always said it at the big C. I remember that so over the game announcer and scoring now Vladi Divac. I love that.
Vladi. He was great. He was a fucking awesome basketball player. I was on a Czech NHL team. I think it was for NHL 13. Was it the one with? That was the one with Brodeur, I think. And I was on, and they always say "vubichu," which I was told by a Czech means, and I started saying it too because it's kind of a nice curse word. Vubichu. And I heard the way it was explained to me, it can mean fuck, shit, cunt, and all at once, and like not
it's versatile.
And yes,
I like that.
And I've noticed it a lot because we have people from that part of the world.
It's like a dirty aloha.
Yes,
Vubichu.
I'm fucking digging that shit, man.
I'm digging it too now. I like that.
I'm digging the dirty
like
words.
Versatility in my curse words.
Digging the dirty words. Have you heard about the NHL All-Star Game format?
Yes.
Scrap. What do you? I'm going to ask you first because I got an opinion about it. What do you think?
I'm sure you do. Well, look, I don't think any of us could think that it should continue the way it was. I like the 3-on-3. I like the idea because here's the thing. The NHL realizes what the All-Star Game is. It's a damn spectacle. If it doesn't mean anything, why play it as a regular game?
And it sucks.
It sucks. It's boring. There's nothing
the skills
going on.
competition is great.
Yes.
The only downside of this is we're losing the draft, and the draft's funny. The draft is and the skills competition, and I got to be honest with you.
Keep the skills competition.
I got to be honest. We didn't have an all-star game in like 3 years because of Olympics and stuff like that. We had like the one last year. I didn't watch it. No fucking interest. None. The uniforms look ridiculous. I knew what it was going to be. There's no hitting. There's only one good all-star game in history that I remember, and they paid him like extra money. It was in 1994. Mike Richter with the MVP. That's the best one ever. My instant, and you see, you know what it is. I worry about. Well, let me just say this, and then I'll tell you what I worry about. My instant reaction was like, no, that's disgusting. That's not hockey. But then I'm like, because it's a gimmick, and I'm like, wait a minute. The All-Star game is. They always bitch about the shootout. It's a gimmick. It's just a gimmick. It's a skills competition. Well, that's what the All-Star game is. It's a gimmick. It's a skills competition. So they're going to do a divisional tournament. So you kind of got a team to root for, which is kind of cool. And I guess I could root for a team with Sidney Crosby and Ryan McDonough and Alexander Ovechkin. Oh, my God. I just thought of that. Ovechkin and so would that be like who would you put on? Who's in the Metropolitan? So you could have McDonough, Ovechkin, and Crosby in the same goddamn line.
You could.
It's fascinating.
The best, I guess, they're 9-man teams, and there are going to be 5 forwards on each team. So that means in the friggin' what's the Blackhawks in? God damn it, forgot what they're in. In the Central, that's always the Central, isn't it? You're looking at Kane, Taze, Ben, Sagan.
Kane, Taze, Doughty, I think would be right when they're in the same division. No,
Doughty's not in their division.
No, Doughty's not in their division. Barely.
No, but Ben and Sagan are. Ben, Sagan, friggin' Taze, and Kane. Oh my God, that's just for starters. And Tarasenko, that would be the 5 forwards.
Oh God.
Filthy. How are you going to beat that?
That's amazing. Tavares, Malkin, and Olvi if you wanted to go 3 forwards. I mean, this is, Oh, Jesus. Go back to the fucking East-West and concerning it being boring, make the ice cleaners cheerleaders. Like the way you think, Sauron.
I like this though, man.
I like
3 separate 20-minute 3-on-3 games in a 4-team mini tournament. I love it. I love tournaments.
Well, I like 3-on-3 hockey. I gotta be honest with you. Here's the thing that Jack Malay was worrying about. Is this gonna be a circus act? I mean, like, are we staring down the problem? Like, well, if after we get to the 4th every time, we'll go 3-on-3. I don't want that. I want the integrity of the overtime protected. Every time we have, and we always do, one of those quadruple overtimes. We usually have one a year. One that goes more than triple, quadruple. Everybody starts talking. It's just too long. It's just too long. Well, it should
never happen in a playoff game.
Never. I don't care. I don't think it will. I don't think it ever goes 5. Just like it's the one fucking thing that just doesn't need to be changed. And if I had to guess, Jackie Malay, he's probably worried about it. But
I think we're safe on that one.
The NHL's a circus.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll have a shootout.
It's the All-Star game. If there's one time of the year where we could just say, let it be, let's pop up the tent and make it a 3-ring, it might as well be here. Because the reality is nobody's watching the All-Star game anymore. And not only in hockey, in every goddamn sport. Nobody cares. They suck. They're not fun.
I'm definitely not missing it this year.
Yes.
I think it's at a reasonable time. I think it's a reasonable time. Our time. I don't know if I can miss it this year.
This seems like fun. And that's exactly the sentiment that a lot of people are going to have. They're going to be like, I got to see this. Because it's either going to be awesome or it's going to be a fucking train wreck. Either way, entertaining.
I went for the fucking shootout. I got suckered into it. And I feel like I got it was like, why not? Because it was the same logic. Why not? Overtime never decides anything anyway. And then I'm like, what the fuck? This shootout sucks. It killed the best thing in hockey, which is the penalty shot. I do like 3-on-3 because it's better than nothing. And it is, if 3-on-3 for no other reason, at least it's entertaining. It does look like you lost the game because you screwed up at very least. And no one's figured out a way. I really doubt there's a way to screw it up.
There's no foolproof way. There's always going to be room to complain. But I think with 3-on-3, what it allows is it allows you to put your best foot forward and try to win the game on your terms with as much talent as you could possibly throw out there. There's strategy involved. You actually feel like you're winning, and I like it. I don't think that it's cheap at all because it's a great matchup. It's 3-on-3. It's open ice. You have the same advantages as the other team.
Yeah,
I love it.
I agree with you. A few more things, few more talking points. Malkin had 2 goals and assists. And a dominating 4-point performance last night. Boy, wonder should be wearing the captaincy over there. You know, he puts his team on blast. I'm not big on putting your team on blast on the media, but it wasn't like he was singling anybody out. He was just like, we suck, you know.
We suck.
And he answers the bell right there, you know.
I'll say this. I gotta say something for Sidney. We don't stand up for the guy very often. But if you look at the tape again with Maatta, who was the guy who was carrying him off the ice? It was Sidney freaking Crosby.
All right.
Crosby was right there talking to him the entire time and scraped this kid off the ice. And it wasn't a trainer that was under his arm. It was Sidney fucking Crosby.
I'm glad you pointed that out because we were.
I found it very interesting because it didn't look forced. It looked like I'm taking care of my teammate here. I like that. We never see that out of this guy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe there's hope for this kid yet.
Or maybe Malkin. Maybe Sid took a look at himself and said, you know, that's another thing. I honestly, what happened with, I don't really think we should underestimate, like, how significant the words he used.
Yeah. Hockey
players and most athletes, as they should be, because the media is a bunch of assholes. If you've been a fan of mine, you must know that by now. How programmed they are to talk to these guys, as they should be, because you shouldn't give them anything. Much less tip off the other team on something as well.
Right.
But this may have gotten through. You know, maybe Gianov's right. You know, we're a bunch of jerks. Maybe it's time to, you know, we've known each other a long time. A lot of guys been on the team since the Cup team. Maybe it's time to pick it up. I mean, that's a scary thought, man.
It is.
You know, so
if this team can get on the same page, whew.
I was kind of hoping you were right about Crosby, because this type of guy. Now that's actually frightening.
Seeing something, though, is better than seeing nothing. I don't root against this guy. I may not like that he's a little pussy ass most of the time, but I don't root against this guy. I like his talent. I love his talent, as a matter of fact. And I think hockey is great when we have great players playing at great levels. And Sidney Crosby is one of those guys. He brings people to the league. And if he can stop being a little bitch and be a leader like he was to Maatta, helping him off the ice, I like that. I'd love to see some maturation of a guy like that right before our eyes. That's a great story. That's a great narrative.
Absolutely. Last thing I want to touch up, but just real quick. Patrick Marleau being brought up as somebody who might get dealt to a Stanley Cup contender. A long time.
Ray Bourque action.
Yeah, a little Ray Bourque thing going on there. And as somebody who could be brought on. You expressed some confusion to me off, like, why do they want addition? The Sharks are playing a little better. Are they playing a little better? I haven't really paid attention to them.
When the news broke, they were playing a little better. They've won 3 straight now. They're in second in the Pacific. They're 4 points behind the Kings over there. But I'm not sold on the Kings yet. That's a different conversation for a different day.
Okay.
San Jose has a chance in that division right now, and that's the thing. And they're going to have to win that division if they want to get in, because it seems like everybody in the Central is going to get in. So it's going to be very difficult to think about this. The 6th place team in the Central has 18 points. That's 2 less than San Jose. Okay. So if you want to win and if you want to get into the playoffs and you're in the Pacific, you have to win your fucking division practically. Yeah. So San Jose is going to giving up on a player like Marleau right now doesn't seem like a very good idea, because he's a proven guy. Now, granted, he is 37 years old, I believe, right? So if you can get something back for him and you really don't believe that your team is going to make that push for all the reasons that I said before, then you got to make this move. But it does seem a little weird to me that when they're playing at their best, that's when the trade rumor starts.
It is kind of strange. The only other thing I can think of, remember, it was him and Joe Thornton that were offered sort of like get out of town, and they stuck to their no trade clauses. So maybe this is Patrick just acknowledging that his general manager is a screaming asshole, and he just gave in. You know what? Fuck you, trade me. You know, it maybe like, I don't care. You know, I'm 37. What am I gonna do? Martin St. Louis somewhere? Maybe I'll go win a Stanley Cup. Or maybe that was his. Like, you know what? We're not winning the cup with this friggin' crew.
Yeah,
you know, and,
it could be that, but again, they're in second place in their division.
yeah.
They're not playing bad hockey. I mean, they're not setting the world on fire by any stretch either.
Do you really think San Jose is going to win the Stanley Cup this year?
No.
Any chance? So,
No. Well, of course not.
I'm surprised Joe Thornton probably should have left and done the same thing 2 years ago.
This is a team that needs to get younger. I think we're all in agreement on that.
And they're in agreement on that. They made moves. They moved Dan Boyle to the New York Rangers. They are trying to do that. But it does seem it's a pretty big.
If they were 8-10 points out at this point, I think that discussion would have a little bit more, relevance to it. But the fact that they're right in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
There's always something else going on with the Sharks. There's always something weird. Friggin' weird.
I never like ending your hopes for a season, not even a quarter of the way through. I never liked that.
Yeah.
And that's what it'd feel like if they give up on Marleau now this early, especially when they're playing well.
Absolutely. Fighting Hawks of North Dakota, that's going to be there. They voted on their nickname. They're not going to be the Fighting Sioux. So we can forget about the Fighting Sioux, and we forget the fact that the Sioux Indians were great warriors, and all these jackass hipsters can be really happy because had North Dakota kept the Fighting Sioux, they would be perpetuating racism, and that's problematic because if the Fighting Sioux has a name, that means people are going to be mean to Indians, So
exactly.
We're very happy that the Fighting Sioux are no longer the Fighting Huss, and I'm very happy that I can forget about Indians. Stupid. I'm starting to believe that there's a break in this crap. I'm starting to believe that people are getting tired of it. South Park is going against it. Donald Trump is leading in the Republican Party, which is just ridiculous if you think about it. I think there's a bit of a rebellion against this shit. And then the babies over in Mizzou. I mean, we're seeing that the
Black Lives Matter people too as well. They took shots at France as well.
The top of academia is some first-rate assholes, and I'm just like, how did you get so spoiled and so, it's just I mean,
it seems like
the parents that were born,
PCs.
I tell you something. The parents that are 50 years, so if you were 50 right now, that means you were born, 1960 something? What a rotten, lousy
65.
generation of parents. If you were born in the 60s, boy, you did a really shitty job and you fucked up the country. You raised a bunch of vaginas that want to tell everybody else what to do. Cry police. That seems to be the most appropriate word going on.
I love that.
Listen to me. Carey Price joined the Montreal Canadiens and his teammates at practice for the first time.
Practice.
Yes, practice.
Talking about practice?
Talking about practice.
Not the game. We're talking about practice.
Talking about practice. Carey Price coming back, but boy, backup was it Condon. He did a great job. Still one of the best teams in hockey, if not the.
Luckily for Carey Price, his name is Carey fucking Price, so it doesn't matter.
Look, and he plays for the Habs. And the Habs are great. Habs are absolutely great. Thank you very much out there, everybody. Ron, Frenchie, Ben, Dr. Deke, Jack Malay, and thank you so much, Trix Cobra, for my King thing. Send me hockey stuff. Gun Cannon, who I do know on Twitter as well. You guys have to have all the same. Yeah, you guys have to have all the same. Twitter. Your Twitter handle has to be your YouTube handle because it confuses.
Right. Have some continuity, people. Jeez.
I'm tired.
You do sound fading.
Yeah, but one of those things like I'll be up now. It's so ridiculous. it's so ridiculous. It's this tonight in the National Hockey League. We only got 3 at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. The Vancouver Knuckleheads, they take on the Winnipeg Jacks, and our Wednesday night rivalry. Big shout out to Siron. This is a good matchup. Olli and the Washington Capitals, they take on the Detroit Red Wings and the Joe. Give me
the Caps. Give me the Caps.
Should I be betting on the Caps?
I like the Caps here.
Ooh, I'll be watching that game for damn sure. Couldn't miss that for the world. 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Chicago Blackhawks, they're in Edmonton to take on Connor not there.
Yeah.
Connor Mc not there. They're sad.
No, they've not done well since he's been gone. 3-7 in their last 10. It seems like his absence is really starting to affect the team, and Chicago's going to come in and pick the bones.
Yeah. Connor McDavid laughs at Olli Maatta, though. A real son of a bitch. Oh, Jesus.
You son of a bitch, you make funnies.
You make funnies of me. You make funnies. Listen, tomorrow, I don't know if we're going to broadcast live or not, but if we do, we do, and it's going to be whenever, or we're going to pre-record or upload. I don't know what the hell we're going to do. From now on, Thursday Shile is not live all the way to Christmas. I got Lamaze class.
Sorry.
Dave, get out of my face.